We're back. It's time to look and behold. I wonder which route's gonna get unlocked. The one where we don't believe her, or the other one? Ah, we unlocked the one where we don't. We unlocked more where we don't believe her. And that one's still locked. All right. Alright, let's just start that unlocked route from discovering Iris's body. Because I'm interested to see how they're going to say we unlocked it.
Right.
No.
But the case doesn't remain unsolved because we are going to solve it.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Jute alors.
Have you settled down?
No.
The scene is being inspected without you. This time the body didn't disappear. However, you lost consciousness. I didn't expect you to faint. Seeing that corpse must have been incredibly shocking. I did not predict you to be the fainting type. I suppose humans are unpredictable. Now that you're back, let's get back to business. You are conscious, are you not? Are you at a loss for words? Date, don't let negative thoughts consume you.
All because we didn't believe her. We let Renju bring her here and give her the get-got.
Thinking that Iris died because of me. If I never took her to Ota's, this wouldn't have happened. If you truly believe that, then your brain is completely rotten. Or perhaps when you saw the corpse, your head became filled with images of blooming yellow dandelions.
What?
Oh, you're talking now. Was I correct? If you consider the situation logically, even an elementary school student would understand.
Huh?
Fine. Allow me to pluck some of those dandelions from your mind. I will ask 3 questions. Please answer honestly. First question. The cold storage warehouse was not in regular operation, but even so, the AC was on, and a minus 58-degree temperature was maintained. Why is that?
To preserve something.
To preserve something.
Yes. Let us move on to the next question.
For ice cream.
Second question. There was something strange about the corpse. Do you remember what that was?
Her right eye was missing.
That is a unique factor, but there was something else. Something more peculiar.
That she was in the engine compartment.
The culprit was afraid that the body would be discovered, so they hid it under the hood. But why there? The ocean is right here. If they really wanted to hide the body, they could have put weights on it and sunk it into the water.
But we do not know for certain that the culprit was attempting to dispose of the body. There is something more unusual.
It was completely frozen, which means she had to have been there for a long time.
Iris's body was completely frozen. The temperature read -58. With Iris's weight... Just wondering, but how much do you weigh?
Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady that?
105 pounds.
I see. 105, huh? It should have taken about 18 hours to freeze solid, but we were...
Wait a moment. Before you draw your conclusion, allow me to ask my final question. Question 3. 2 days ago, Sunday night, you found a dead body in the cold storage warehouse. But afterward, you visited the Sagan household and discovered that Iris was in fact still alive.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I saved her in Somnium, duh.
Because we saved her. We saved her in Somnium.
Date, think logically. What occurs in dreams does not affect reality. And parallel worlds, that is even less possible. So if that's the case...
Then I was just hallucinating the corpse that I first saw.
What I saw on Sunday must have been a hallucination. It was a dream.
No, Date, you're overthinking it. You saw the corpse, but Iris was alive, which means...
You mean... What do you...
mean?
You've got it.
I bolted into the warehouse like I was shot out of a gun. That was kind of weird. X-ray. Is this not actually Iris?
I don't believe it.
The stomach is swollen slightly. She appears to have been pregnant.
How?
Do not worry. The uterus does not contain a fetus.
You mean after she was killed?
No. The fetus was not present in her body when she was killed. She must have been killed after giving birth. The distended stomach does not immediately shrink after birth. The expanded uterus takes some time to return to its normal size. This evidence makes one thing perfectly obvious.
This isn't Iris.
This corpse isn't Iris. It's someone else.
Which means...
Iris is still alive.
Not necessarily. She could be alive. We haven't confirmed that yet.
But she looks exactly like Iris.
Multiple stab wounds with a single-edged, sharp object to the victim's back.
Which is how the frozen woman in that first Somnium we went through died.
Judging by the size and shape of the marks, the weapon was most likely a kitchen knife. This matches what you said on Sunday.
So this is the body I saw then.
Oh, I get it now.
What was it?
You awake?
Yes.
I get it now.
Yeah, I know. I heard you. What was the thing?
So, the body that we saw covered in a cloth 2 days ago on the ice cutting table that we thought was Iris that disappeared.
Mm.
Iris didn't come back to life. So Sajima must have, or whoever killed her, must have come back and moved the body from the ice cutting table into the engine compartment so that when CSI got here, there was no body to be found.
Oh.
Because the body moved from the place we saw it to the engine compartment. And do you know what that means? You know what that means?
What? No, what does it mean?
That the Iris we saw So Sajima kill in his Somnia wasn't Iris. It was just what we perceived as Iris because the body we thought we found was Iris's body. So our mind was also interacting with So's Somnium, making it look like he was killing Iris when in actuality he was killing some other chick. Because we saw him leave the warehouse and then we went in there and then we saw a body there. So we just assumed that during our sync we saw him killing Iris because we thought it was Iris's body and we thought we saw him leave it.
Is there an estimated time of death?
Impossible to determine. This body has been completely frozen for at least 10 years.
10 years? She was killed more than 10 years ago?
Exactly. Her identity is unknown. Her killer is also unknown. But there is one likely suspect.
Who?
Let's consider the clues. The scene. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. Sunday night, we saw So here. And there is something else about So Sajima. We witnessed someone similar to Iris being stabbed repeatedly in So's Somnium.
But it wasn't Iris. It was this woman.
That is highly likely.
What we saw was So's memory from more than 10 years ago.
I believe that is the case.
Renju and So?
But we still do not know where Renju is.
That means that we need to talk to
So Sajima.
A pitiful corpse. Just looking at her makes my chest hurt. So Iris didn't get brutalized. That's a twist. So then we didn't jump into a parallel world. We're just going crazy. Yeah?
Yeah.
Mizuki and Ota kept searching for Iris, but unfortunately they didn't turn up anything. Iris's whereabouts are still unknown. I'm worried about her, but without any leads, we'd be just looking for her blindly. I should focus on the investigation for now. It will eventually lead me to Iris, I'm sure of it. With that in mind, I head to So's mansion.
I thought I told you never to show your face here again.
Yeah, well, I have a warrant now.
I didn't come here for Shoko today. I didn't come here for Iris either. Instead, I'm here for a girl who looks like Iris. Did you kill her?
Date, look.
I knew it. You killed her, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've had enough of your shit, Congressman! You wanted to check on the body of the girl you killed. That's why you were at the cold storage warehouse 2 days ago.
Keep up the questions.
Where is Renju Okiura? You know where he is, don't you? You were at an Okiura fishery warehouse for a reason. There's definitely a connection between you two. And that's not all. Number 89 called your secretary. The same number 89 that Renju escaped with. Now tell me, where is Renju?
Suddenly, a gang of bodyguards stormed out of the mansion. In an instant, they surrounded me.
We'd like to ask you to please leave.
We need to get a fucking warrant half the time. Not like it would matter. He's got all the higher ups sucking his D.
Damn it, So!
There's nothing we can do. We did arrive without a warrant. We were technically trespassing. If he had called the police, we would be in a predicament. We would have been detained immediately. Who would look after Iris then? Do you intend to leave your responsibility with Mizuki and Ota?
Mizuki can handle it.
Calm down, Date. We still have our lead.
Lead?
Before I explain, we need to discuss the corpse in the cold storage warehouse.
Oh. Actually, now that we know everything we know about so I think we need to do a lot of things, including figure out that So Sajima was the original Cyclops killer who took their right eyes. Or no, he was the new Cyclops killer. Then why did she have her right eye missing? Were they... I think they said three... I think we saw 3 different figures in that Somnium during the killings.
Let's give her a name. Because she is frozen solid, we could call her All Ice or Alice. What do you think?
Boo.
Alice and Iris. I believe it fits nicely.
How would you call her Elsa?
All right, Alice. What about her?
Someone might be able to identify her.
Who?
Allow me to ask you 3 questions.
Again with this?
First question. You have seen this corpse more than twice. 3 times, in fact. When was the first time?
When was the first time we saw the frozen corpse, dear? Yellow. You there? When was the first time we saw the frozen corpse?
I do not know.
How about now? Still got nothing?
I got nothing.
We saw her a few days ago when we went into Mizuki's Somnium.
3 days ago. Saturday night when I synced at Abyss.
Yes, in the Somnium world. We saw the frozen corpse of a girl. Question 2. Who is the girl?
A virus.
Now I know. That girl was probably Alice.
Most likely, yeah. So we have technically known Alice for 3 days. One last thing. The final question. In which Somnium did we see Alice?
Mizuki's.
My roommate, Mizuki Okiyo.
Exactly. You mentioned something about Mizuki's Somnium being some kind of prophecy, but prophecies are nonsense. Dreams are not made of the future. They are made from the past. Therefore,
Mizuki has seen Alice before.
there is no other explanation.
Aiba, where is Mizuki now?
Where we went with Iris yesterday, Ikume Shrine.
The shrine? Why would she be there?
Unknown. She is supposed to be looking for Iris.
Probably praying for your death, Date.
Okay, let's go.
Nice and swift. Sunset is coming.
Date,
Did you find Iris?
if I did, I would have told you already.
Right.
Do you know where Renju's at?
I think Iris is with Renju.
With Daddy?
Yeah. Her note mentioned her most trusted person. It's probably Renju.
Yeah. I remember that mermaid girl saying something like that.
Come on, lag. Come on. You can do it.
He was looking for Iris. Does that mean that Daddy is the one who called for Iris?
It could be. So I need to know where he is.
But I haven't been able to get a hold of him.
Where's Ota?
I think he's searching Akihabara right now. Last time he checked in, he said he didn't have anything.
What are you doing here?
Iris used to like this shrine. She told me about all her memories here. We used to come here all the time. You know those steps in the front? We would sit there together and talk about things, like what gluten-free means, and eyelash extensions, and aerial yoga.
What does gluten-free mean?
Oh no.
You can't escape.
And we would talk about all our problems together. Sometimes we would talk late into the night. So I thought that maybe she'd be here, but it looks like I was wrong.
About Alice.
Mizuki, I have something very important to ask you.
I told Mizuki about the frozen corpse we called Alice.
You've seen her before, haven't you? 3 days ago, I saw her in your Somnium. The body of a girl who looks like Iris, Alice. Your dreams are built from your memories, so that corpse... Mizuki, please, answer me. Iris's life is at stake.
Huh? What do you mean?
About Alice. Told Mizuki everything. About how Renju ran off with the assassin in 89. How 89 is connected to So Sajima. And that Sajima is linked to Alice's murder.
I need to know everything about Alice. If I find out who she is, I might be able to solve the mystery of Renju and number 89, and that might lead me to Iris.
Mizuki looked down at her feet quietly. I could see agony in her face. The silence lingered. Finally, she steeled herself, lifted her head, and spoke.
Okay, I'll tell you about Alice.
Tell me about Alice.
It was about a month ago. I saw my daddy crying in the president's office at Lemniscape. I was peeking through a crack in the door so he didn't see me. Daddy got up, then got into his car and drove away. I had never seen him like that before. I was curious, so I followed him in a taxi. That led me to the cold storage warehouse.
Okay, flag, come on.
He got out of his car and went inside. I followed right behind him, quietly. Daddy was standing next to the forklift in the back. I hid behind a shelf. I watched Daddy open the hood of the forklift, and then, after a little bit, he left. I wanted to know what he was looking at. I went over to the forklift and I looked under the hood myself, and then...
You saw Alice's dead body.
But at the time, I thought it was Iris.
Yeah, so does everybody else. Why didn't you call the police?
What was I supposed to do?
Call the police.
Daddy would have been in trouble.
Yeah, so?
So you kept quiet this whole time?
Your parents hate you, Mizuki.
Yeah.
Who cares about them? What did you do after that?
The corpse looked exactly like Iris. I couldn't believe she was dead. I just couldn't, so I went to Iris's house.
Huh? What's wrong, Mizuki?
Iris was alive. I thought I was going crazy or dreaming. I tried to convince myself that it was just a hallucination.
Did you talk to Renju about it?
What do you mean? I couldn't just ask. It would have changed everything. I thought that as long as I stayed quiet, everything would be okay. I didn't see a dead body. I wasn't even at the warehouse. I repeated that to myself over and over and tried to forget the whole thing.
Repressed memories are often the subject of somnia.
That's why Alice showed up during the sync.
About the Okiura Fisher Cold Storage Warehouse.
I actually met with one of the higher-ups at Daddy's company last night. before I went to Matsushita Diner.
Why?
Because you asked about the cold storage. I was curious. I asked around some, and...
Come on. Come on, Leg. Tell me about it.
I found out that Daddy was managing the warehouse before I was born.
Oh, so Renju does own the warehouse. He is all about it.
After my grandpa died, Daddy took over. In exchange for managing the warehouse, he gave ownership of the company to someone else. I guess he didn't want to let this place go. Or maybe he couldn't let it go. That's more accurate, I think. But I understand why. Inside that warehouse was...
Alice.
Keep talking, Mizuki. What else do you have for me?
On paper, Daddy has nothing to do with Okiura Fishery. Daddy was still managing the warehouse, and he was the only one allowed in there, too. That was part of the agreement when he gave up the company, and the whole thing had to be a secret. He really stressed that point.
Hey, Mizuki. How long was he managing the warehouse?
For 18 years, that's what the man told me.
18 years? From that long ago?
Yes.
Wait a minute now. What's your epiphany?
I don't have one.
I have one, and it's a doozy of one.
No, no.
Alice is Iris's mother. Her actual mother. Iris is 18. Renju's been managing that warehouse for 18 years.
Iba, I need an emergency search. Missing persons from 18 years ago.
Understood.
Huh?
Date, I found her. The girl who looks like Iris.
What's her name?
Monica Ey. 19 years old at the time of her disappearance.
Monica Ey. We've heard that name before.
A graduate of Eitoku High School.
Renju's high school. Hitomi's high school.
What?
Renju was my classmate at Eitoku High. We've known each other for 20 years now.
Did Hitomi help kill Monica and take Iris? Take over her life?
When I was young, I lost someone very important to me. Monica Ey, my best friend.
Oh.
One of the only friends I had.
We have heard that name. Was that... Oh, I don't know what timeline that was part of.
Alice is... Monica. Hitomi's friend who went to the same school as her and Renju. But why? Monica's body was found just now. But even back then, Hitomi knew. She knew that Monica was already dead.
That's... Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Iba, where is Hitomi right now?
At headquarters for questioning. MPD still believes that the body they discovered was Iris.
Got it. Contact boss. Have them bring Hitomi to Abyss.
Roger that.
Well, we're doing that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.